Every single one of my books, whatever kind, whatever genre, you will find a young hero in the middle of the story. A girl or a boy, or maybe even a little dragon as small as your baby finger. But that young hero is the center of the story, and you really need to care about that person. Whether it's young Merlin who washes ashore on the very first page of The Lost Years of Merlin, or my heroic teenage girl Kate, who's 12 years old and goes back in time through an ancient redwood tree that's also a time tunnel. Or in the new Merlin's Dragon, that little baby dragon who is the one creature who just might save the wizard Merlin's life. There's always a heroic person in the center. But about 10 years ago, I'm thinking I was in Columbus, Ohio, and a girl came up to me after one of my talks at a high school, and she said, "You know, Mr. Barron, your books are all right, but I know how it really works." And I said, "Oh, what do you mean by that?" And she said, "You know, you write these stories about somebody washes ashore and ends up a great wizard, or goes back in time, saves her town, or saves the world, saves the universe, whatever. But I know that only happens in fairy tales. Kids can't do that kind of stuff. Kids can't do anything really important. That never happens in our world." And I'll tell you, that girl's just dead cynicism really hit me hard. And the whole trip back home to Colorado, I started thinking, what can I do for that girl? What kind of medicine could I give her to revive her sense of her own potential and give her a sense of her own possibilities? I came up with the idea of stopping writing my novels and my picture books and writing a nonfiction book called The Hero's Trail, which is a collection basically of more than 100 little stories about true kids from every description, every background, who have really done something heroic. And in their own way, just like the young Merlin, they've washed ashore in life in a very difficult place and felt lost and alone just like Merlin did. And so I decided to write a nonfiction book, The Hero's Trail, that's a collection basically of more than 100 stories of real young people from every walk of life, every description, all around the world, all across time, who have found themselves washed ashore in a very similar way to Merlin, but in the real world. And they've been lost and confused and had to deal with an enormous obstacle, but just like Merlin, reached down inside themselves and found something remarkable, something heroic. And when they did that, they not only helped themselves, but they helped the world. Now, some of these kids in The Hero's Trail are kids you've heard about, kids like Anne Frank or Wilma Rudolph. And some of them are kids you've never heard of. And that's part of the point, because the real heroes are the quiet heroes all around us whose stories often never get celebrated, although they should. And part of the point I was trying to make was that we as a whole society are very, very confused about the difference between what is a hero and what is a celebrity. We are seriously mixed up about that as a country. And you think about how much airtime we give to the brief flash in the pan celebrities and how little we give to those honest, true acts of courage or compassion or generosity or hope, perseverance, faith, bravery, humor when it's difficult, all of those things. Those are the qualities that really hold our world together, and those are the qualities of a hero. And they're much longer lasting, as well as being under the surface and hard to see on the outside. They only come out by the actions of people.